Hello everyone and welcome to my podcast. My name is Elisa and today I want to talk about something a bit personal. A moment when I actually understood what health really means. Because when we think about health, we usually think about infections or disease, like something very clinical. But health is more than that. It also has to do with emotions, stress, and how our body reacts to everything we go through. So today I want to share my experience that made me realize that sometimes the body speaks before we're ready to listen. It was a normal day, or at least that's what I thought. For a few days I had been under a lot of academic stress. I had deadlines, responsibilities, things to study, and honestly I wasn't really taking care of myself. I wasn't sleeping well, I had sleep deprivation, and my eating habits were not the best. But I keep telling myself that it was normal, that is just a part of being a student. Until that day, in the afternoon I start to feel different, I feel weak, like my body had no energy, I had nausea, and I didn't feel like eating anything. There was also kind of heaviness in my body that I couldn't really explain. At the same time, I feel emotionally overwhelmed. I was so anxious, mentally excited, and I couldn't concentrate well. Even simple things feel difficult, and I remember sitting down and thinking, why do I feel like this if I'm not actually sick? That moment was so confusing because I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't explain it. And that's when it hit me. It wasn't just stress in my mind. My body was reacting, and I was experiencing the effects of prolonged stress. The experience changed the way I see health because I understood that health is not just about not being sick. It's just about balance. When stress becomes chronic, it doesn't just stay in your toes. It starts affecting your body, including systems like nervous system and endocrine system. In fact, there is a research, and Slay, who is known as the father of stress research, he explained that stress is a physiological response of a body to pressure. And when I learned that, everything makes sense. That I experienced was not just stress, it was my brain trying to adapt and eventually researching its limit. After that, I started taking things more seriously. I began to prioritize rest, better nutrition, and being more aware of how I feel. Because health is not only about treating problems, it's about preventing them. Now I want to connect this with something more current, like artificial intelligence in healthcare. Today, AI is being used in many areas of the medicine. It helps to with early diagnostics, analyzing large amounts of clinical data, and even interpreting medical images. For example, it can detect patterns in radiological images or identify risk factors faster than traditional methods. And it's really impressive. But at the same time, there is a limitation. IA cannot understand what it feels like to be overwhelmed. It cannot experience emotional distress or anxiety and that's matter because not everything in health is purely biological. A lot of it is emotional. So, in my opinion, technology should be support to healthcare, but not replace human awareness. Because sometimes the first step to understand a problem is simply recognize how you feel. So today I just want to leave you with this. Don't ignore your body. Don't normalize contact stress. And don't wait until everything becomes too much. Sometimes we think we are being strong, but pushing in through everything. But in reality, we are just ignoring the signs. Health is not about surviving. It's about taking care of yourself before it's too late. This podcast helped me to understand that health is not only physical, but also emotional and psychological. It also helped me practice medical English in a more real and meaningful way. And it made me reflect on how technology, like artificial intelligence, is changing healthcare, but also how important it is to stay aware of our own well being.